What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Ravens Rundown. My name is Joey Petersen. So happy you guys are here, and hopefully you enjoyed your long Labor Day weekend. Well, now that the holiday is over, all sights are set to Sunday Night Football, Ravens versus Bills. And I'll tell you this, it seems like the Buffalo Bills may have given the Baltimore Ravens a gift. And I have a feeling if they could take advantage of it, they're going to end Sunday night victorious. Speaking of being victorious, unfortunately, we at the Ravens Rundown are not victorious right now because the Bills Breakdown, our Buffalo Bills chat sports channel, is beating us in our Week 1 sub battle, 71 subs to 68 subs. Good news is we've got till Sunday to make this up. The bad news is we're already down, and I need that to change today. If you have not joined us yet, today's a perfect day to do so. It's 100% free, and we also cover the Baltimore Ravens on a daily basis, okay? The Ravens Rundown, if you're a true Ravens fan, is exactly where you need to be. So if you have not joined us yet, again, hit that big red sub button. The matchup looks like this. Ravens, Bills, the over-under set at 50.5. The Bills right now are a 1.5-point favorite. Today, the Buffalo Bills did what a lot of teams have done, except the Baltimore Ravens at the current recording of this video. They have released their depth chart for Week 1 and their opening game, of course, against the Baltimore Ravens. So what's this gift you're asking about, Joey? What's this gift? That's the reason we clicked on this video. Well, Trey White. That's right. Tre'Davious White, former Baltimore Raven last year, acquired at the trade deadline. He is listed as one of the Buffalo Bills' starting cornerbacks. Starting cornerback. So if that's the gift, who are the receivers? Well, that's a play on word. Thank you so much for teaming me up for this joke. The receivers of that gift are the receivers. Zay Flower, Rashad Bateman, DeAndre Hopkins. Okay? If Trey White is a starting cornerback, which he is listed on the depth chart, that truly is a gift for every single one of those guys. Because last year, Trey White was ranked as like the 170th best cornerback in football out of 222 corners. Last year, Trey White had a 52.9 PFF grade, a 54.4 coverage grade, allowed 12.6 yards a catch, and allowed, when targeted, a quarterback passer rating of 127.3. And to make matters worse for him, but honestly better for the Baltimore Ravens, they don't even know if he's 100% going to go or be 100%. Because this came on August 21st, about 2 weeks ago. Towards the end of practice, Tre'Davious White was injured, hobbled off the field with the trainers. After a few minutes, he limped into the tunnel with the trainer, was able to walk off the field on his own very slowly. A few minutes later, he got in a car and it drove away. He has not really practiced since then, okay? So if he is playing, he's not going to be at 100%. And if he's not playing, let's be honest, the guy who isn't starting over Tre'Davious White is not very good. Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers should be looking at this depth chart, looking at those three cornerbacks, looking at Tre'Davious White specifically, and be licking their chops. So why is this a gift? Well, Buffalo is going to try to negate what they lack in cornerback play by putting a ton of pressure on Lamar Jackson. Because when you don't have corners that can cover that well, a lot of times your best coverage is your pass rush. The ability to get to the quarterback quickly, force the ball out of his hands, so that way it lessens the amount of time that your cornerbacks have to cover. But did you know that Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers, they connected last year for 528 yards against the blitz. That was the second most by any quarterback wide receiver duo in the National Football League. And we all know the Bills blitzing Baltimore has been a part of their game plan. In the divisional round, the Buffalo Bills blitzed 50% of plays. 50% of the time last year in that divisional playoff game, the Buffalo Bills were blitzing. But you know what else about that divisional game? You know who wasn't playing in that divisional game because he was injured? That's right. Zay Flowers wasn't. Okay? And so, now that he is there, going up against a cornerback in Tre'Davious White, who A, is not very good, and B, is not going to be 100% healthy if he is playing, then he should be looking at that and he should be saying, you know what? Me and Lamar, we're going to connect all day long. and we're going to absolutely run this thing. It is Vegas time, ladies and gentlemen. 76.5 yards for Zay against Buffalo. Are you going over or are you going under? Okay, that's what I'm setting the line at. You let me know over or under in the comment section down below. Speaking about player stat projections, the most fun way to get those and to play those is with our friends over at Prize Picks. Guys, football season is here. Finally. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Don't miss any of the action this season on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. I know we got a long time to wait until Sunday Night Football, but let's get you started on some Thursday Night Football. Cowboys, Eagles. Give me the more on Dak Prescott pass yards. Yes, you see that correctly. It is half a pass yard. Give me the more on CeeDee Lamb for a rushing or receiving touchdown at 0.5. And you know what? I got a feeling that the Eagles are going to be winning late, and I think they're going to want to just run the ball out, run the clock out. So give me the less on Jalen Hurts pass yards, 212.5. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. The link to this promo is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, run your game. And it's very funny because I feel like Baltimore and the way their offense rolls is very different than a lot of teams across the National Football League. Because usually, in my opinion, a lot of teams like to run the ball to then open up their pass game. But it feels like Baltimore knows that running the football is always going to be their best bet. So they honestly, it feels like, look to passing the ball to open up their run game and open up everything for Derrick Henry to be dominant. Because Derrick Henry is going to get his. Okay? I can promise you that. They're not going to have to worry about what Derrick Henry is going to have to do against this team, against Buffalo, really against anybody, right? Because last year, the 2 times he did play Buffalo, he played them really, really well. Those numbers should be flipped. That's my bad. 8.3 yards a carry in week 4, and then 5.3 yards a carry in the divisional game. So both of those, he's averaging, if you average those two out, about 6.8 yards a carry every single time that he played Buffalo last season. And then, of course, we know that helps the receiving game even more. And the receivers then, of course, subsequently help out the running game. This is what you're looking at for Baltimore. Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers, DeAndre Hopkins last year, 45 catches, 756 yards, 9 touchdowns for Bateman. 74 catches, 1,059 yards, 4 touchdowns against Flowers. And then for Hopkins, 56 catches, 610 yards, 5 touchdowns. I honestly feel really, really good about Sunday. I think this helps it a lot, obviously, knowing that you're going to have Tre'Davious White to go against too, knowing that he's going to have to cover either Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, or really anybody that you have on this team. I know it's Tuesday, and I know a lot of times we feel good about our games and our teams on Tuesdays, but I can't help but feel like Todd Monken and Lamar Jackson, they're going to take advantage of this. Tell me, do you think Baltimore scores more than 25 against Buffalo? Okay, let me know by giving me a yes or a no in the comment section down below and weigh in with your answer. We're going to round out today's show. I thought it'd be fun to give a little bit of, because we kind of already did it with our friends over at Prize Picks, and we already did it with the, over or under for Zay Flowers. I'm going to give you some stat projections at the end of today's show. We're going to run them down by a list. Lamar, Derrick, Zay. Starting off with Lamar Jackson. I think he's going to get 68% completion percentage, 261 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Okay, I think he's going to take a lot of advantage of the factor of Tre'Davious White being there, and I think he's going to take advantage of Buffalo's blitz. Derrick Henry. I think it's 98 yards and a touchdown. Or excuse me, 93 yards and a touchdown. I think Derrick Henry's going to have a good game, but I think it's going to be hard for him to be able to do what he did against Buffalo last year because I know Buffalo's number one game plan is sell out and take away Derrick Henry. So give me 93 yards and a touchdown. For Zay Flowers, I mean, this is pretty much what this whole thing's been about. Give me 9 receptions, 104 yards, 2 tuds for Zay Flowers. You're right. I think he is going to get his touchdown total from last season. He thinks he's going to get half of it in game 1 against the Buffalo Bills. Those 3 right there, we all know, are the heartbeat of this offense. We all know that those 3 right there, if you're going to do anything with the offensive side of the football, if you're going to put up points, it's going to be because of Lamar, Derrick, and Zay. Okay? I think Zay Flowers is going to have a phenomenal year. He bulked up over the offseason. He's going to be 100% fully healthy. And he's going into his 3rd season. A lot of times, people see their biggest jump from year 2 to year 3. I don't think that's going to be any different for him. And I don't know if Lamar Jackson's going to have quite the year he had last year. Not because I have anything against Lamar Jackson, but also it's just going to be hard to do what he did last year again. 4,100 yards, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's a hard thing to do. But if he gives me 90%, 80% of what he did last year, this team's going to be able to do something very, very special. And again, it all starts Sunday night against the Buffalo Bills. That's going to do it for today's show. Make sure you guys got me followed on Twitter and on Instagram. You can find me at Joey Petersen8 on both those platforms. Also, the links to my social media are going to be in the comment section and description of today's video. If you have not yet, join us today by hitting that subscribe button. Daily updates on your Baltimore Ravens.